Yeah. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Broke on advance, you don't even gotta mention. I swap it in the deck, you're not bullish enough. Traded in the sex, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Yagobi. OnChain revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity. Flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret all this information in my head. EYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gon' end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me, no way. OnChain revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm Sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah, Nicky's. Yeah, OnChain revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recap, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, yeah, send it to the deck, sell it through the stack. Order knows the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge, look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy on the Shoutouts, covering the entire Bitcoin crypto ecosystem. What's up, guys? An amazing show for you guys today. We're live from the OnChain Hour, and today is going to be absolutely awesome, guys, because TK, Trench Kitty, has reached over 200K. If you're repping this, if you are partnered with us with this, guys, that's what this is. If you get into Trench Kitty, you are a partner with us. So you are a part of what we're building here at OnChain Revolution and Trench Kitty. Trench Kitty is just a bigger brand to us as OnChain Revolution. This is our thing here, guys, and we want you guys to be a part of it. And this is kind of our opportunity to kind of have this slow grind up. And guys, I mean, I'm loving what you guys are pushing us up to, but let's take it a little slow. Let's lower expectations. Let's not ready to be, up to 300-400K. Let's kind of wait to get more holders. Let's get the supply around first. Like, you know what I mean? So let's do our job here. Let's kind of keep pushing this to the masses. You guys are doing phenomenal, but we definitely want to slow it down a little bit if that's possible. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, great show today. We're going to be covering a lot of the TK stuff. The bridge is out. You can now bridge from Solana to Bitcoin, or you can go back. You can buy on Bitcoin and go to Solana. Up to you. It's 1-to-1. I get a lot of questions with that. There is the same supply, 1 billion on one side, 1 billion on the other. That's it. So potentially what you could do, and there's an arbitrage opportunity, buy on Solana, bridge it to Bitcoin. It's only one block, and then you can list it on Magic Eden right now. We haven't got any liquidity on DotSwap yet, but we're planning on that for the future. So something that we're trying to work out how we're going to do it and where we're going to do it at. So a lot of planning going on. And I'm sorry if I feel a little discombobulated today, working with Runestone this morning to get that bridge up for you guys. And it's been absolutely awesome. The guy working with the guys at Runestone, if you have a coin or anything with Minelabs, I highly recommend you guys go work with them. Phenomenal team, phenomenal guy. I've talked with every single member of the team, I think, at this point. So it's been awesome there. And obviously, we're going to give opportunities for staking. So if you do bridge your token from Solana to Bitcoin, you will be able to lock it up. We talked to Raul. We're going to do September 1st. It will open September 10th. It will lock for 90 days. This is going to reward long-term holders. Like, we got a portion of the supply, but we kind of want to give it all away, right? So it's kind of what we're trying to do, and we're going to do it to people with long-term holders. But we are giving away 300,000 TK today. All you got to do is go in the chat right now. You can do it on X or YouTube. I think Twitch and Kick, you guys can do it too. I think we see your comments as well, and just put your Twitter handle and TK. Even if you just make sure your Twitter handle's there, because it's impossible to find people if you just put YouTube, put TK. So I will be adding. I'm gonna show you guys the wheel and stuff. But let's get the show started first. Let's bring out my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
How you feeling today, bro? How you feeling with everything, man? I've been telling you how I'm feeling. I really haven't heard how you're doing yet.
Yeah, I feel great, man. I feel great. I feel like the community is growing at a good pace. I'm a person that I always try to push myself, so I'm gonna be pushing the community too, guys, in a healthy, positive way, right? And what that means is, look, we've been able to grow the on-chain revolution community, over 2 years now. But this is a whole nother beast and animal, and Trench Kitty and this community is really just expanding now. So what we need you to do is let's get that Twitter follower up. Right now we've reached, I think, almost 150. Let's get that. We got it. The bigger the Twitter following, the larger the community joining on X. The bigger that we can make our community, right? And so that's what it's all about, guys, is working together. I'm excited about it. Numbers, they come and go. Obviously, if you stay and build something that lasts, that's what's important. And that starts with the community.
100%. And again, I just want to shout out the guys and remind, but I'm gonna play their quick video real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's phenomenal. Great job, Rune Mine team. Absolutely amazing. What they, again, I know I said it already, but what they've done is absolutely amazing. Even going back, even before Trench Kitty, what they've a year ago, we started talking to them to where they're at now. I mean, their bridge is phenomenal. I used it this morning. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, and this is what happens whenever you've been in the space covering, day in, day out, just grinding, putting your boots on, and building actual, legitimate, genuine relationships. We've had calls with Jeff from Rumine before even talking about anything like this, probably about 5 to 7 times. We've had him on the show a couple times with Leonidas. Fluid, our guy Raul, man, as soon as we just messaged him and he read it, he was like, I'm there, man. We can do it in 48 hours. We're like, oh, wow. We didn't even ask for the express delivery, but thank you. And that's the thing. And this is not to again, I'm not trying to sound cocky or pat ourselves on the back. That's not what it's about. It's about knowing that if you are consistent in what you do and what you bring to your craft, then things will build around that are formidable and that last. And those are relationships. We met Raul in Nashville at that party on I forgot what that street was where all the bars are. Magic Eden had a party there. It was awesome meeting our partner in person. And that's what this is about. We're going to continually leverage our relationships with infrastructure partners, with people that are in Solana, people that are in Bitcoin, people are that, Arch is supposedly launching later this year. So who knows where this thing can go? All we know is that it's going to grow in terms of community, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, 100%. And Johnny Gonzalez says Trench Kitty is going to $1. No doubt about it. Let's slow down, guys. Let's slow down. But look at this chart. It is absolutely amazing right now. You had this ascent. I should have known too, because I've been kind of following this. I should have known it was just gonna just blast off like this, because it just once it broke out of that triangle, it did a tiny retest and then just completely took off. This thing's going, in my opinion, this will be $1 million, but I do want to take it on the slow here.
Yeah.
Slow grind up is better than just because we could have one of these. You got to remember the holders and stuff like that. There's some people who hold a lot of spot. We need them to sell down. It's not healthy to have this much of the supply. We need, especially when it's $1 million. We definitely need people to sell down if you hold a lot. But I mean, it's up to you. I don't want to tell you what to do. Not financial advice at all. But for the health of TK, I mean, we definitely want to be up there, but slow grind up. Let's take it slow. But now we are listed over on Magic Eden right now, which is awesome. We do have someone did list a bunch of them here. So if you guys are interested, you guys can come over and start listing. Let's get a lot of orders going as well. Let's got to get new people in here. 14 holders already, which is, I mean, that's not bad for about an hour. So really excited for that. And let's kind of get more holders over here. So start bridging your stuff in. And I just want to show the bridge one more time. So you just go to app.runemind.com, click their bridge. What you want to do is go down to TK here. You'll click TK. You'll switch this to Solana. Just remember, when you switch to Solana, it changes back to Been There Cat. So just go back down and grab TK again, and then you can bridge TK to Bitcoin, or the other way around. If you want to bridge it back, you can just switch it, and then it'll go back there as well. That is completely up to you. So you definitely want to check that out if you are part of that. So.
Absolutely. And we're not going to hit on the price necessarily every single day, like, focus so much on that. What we're going to do is focus on the community growth, the positive vibes from that. And really, because once you get that going, you hit a point of no return into that community viral growth. It's HODL culture. We started it's crazy because we birthed Trench Kitty in the place that's completely opposite of HODL culture. But we said, hey, let's bring our Bitcoin community, kind of show them how it's done here. And then, obviously having that bridge open to be able to free flow back and forth is going to be important. Let's see what happens here. The biggest thing is building the community, get those retweets, raid those tweets in the community as well. I tweeted at Bonk Guy, which is one of the founders of Bonk and Let's Bonk. And that's where we launched TK. Was on the Let's Bonk platform. He loves Bitcoin meme coins. He actually talked about them before. He's like, he thinks that, they're really good collectible for the future or something like that. So I tagged him. So get in there, comment, show the love that you have for the TK community, and that will start to be viral and it start to spread. That's what is, I mean, I'm going to keep talking about this every single day in terms of growing that community, because that's where strength is. Strength is in numbers, right? And yes, you can have small numbers and still be strong. And that's what it started. That's how we started. It's a great start, amazing start. But we got to continually grow that and grow our army.
Yeah, 100%. And Alpha Gamer says TK holders want to know when cracking. I'm in talks with it. No, I can't. I'm not allowed to. But that who knows, right? They're listing all types of stuff. But we definitely need to get the holder count up. We need to get, and everything else. So definitely need to be spreading the word about Trench Kitty. If you guys are a part, you got to work for your bags here. Like I said, this is a partnership between us and you guys. This is how we all can really make it here. So definitely want to be a part of that. But one thing again, just want to kind of just remember with this is, like, there's never been a low cap coin with on Bitcoin, right, that has a liquidity pool of $50,000, right? I think the liquidity pool right now for TK is $52,000 liquidity. Think about that for a second. It's a 200K market cap coin, and it has about 25% in liquidity. Absolutely insane. Really cool. Really cool. So just want to cover that. But let's start today's show. What do you think?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. We're live streaming from the Trench Kitty Twitter account as well. That's why we got to keep growing that up. But yeah, let's get the show started. A lot to talk about. Not necessarily the best news, but hey, guys, I think right around the corner, it might, we might start to see some sunshine and some light come back. So
100%. And you have Ethereum flying today. I don't know if you've seen it, but up almost 5%.
I did, but my wife, out of everybody, because she's been trading. She's like so much. She's better than me, because she this is what she does for her company. She's like a forecaster and stuff. She was like, hey, starting to be on the move again. And I was the one that was like, let's pump the brakes a little bit here. Let's just give it. Let's close that candle above 4,400, as Murrian said yesterday in the Artura new segment. But that's what I'm starting to look for, stuff like that. Just the confirmations. Love to use those wicks now for kind of like a sweeping confirmation to the upside and the opposite. If it wicks high, then probably a quick down and then back up possibly, or something like that.
Yeah, 100%. Bitcoin's just kind of sideways today. Some of the alts are moving. You have ADA up 4% today. You have Merlin up 4% today. Fluid up 4% today. So a lot of cool virtuals. Same thing. Then you have Solana up 4% as well. So yeah, really good day for some of the alts. Really kind of following. The alts follow Ethereum. You know, I said it a million times. Ethereum is that leading indicator for alts. It's no longer Bitcoin, or maybe it was never Bitcoin. I don't know. Maybe it was always Ethereum since 2017. But I remember last cycle, Bitcoin. It was everything depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin
Well,
sneezed,
at
you know what I
first,
mean? Yeah, yeah. Well, even when Bitcoin, let's just say in May of 2021, Bitcoin had a little dip. Everything just tanked 90%. Remember, like that was crazy. For that first, well, that was supposed to be the top, but Sandbag of Freedom says no, one more time. So yeah, man, 100%. But let's kind of get into today's topic today. BlackRock holds 887 billion Bitcoin. $442 million liquidated yesterday, and 2 to 4 week pullback or a new all-time high soon. Let's kind of get into the first piece of that. BlackRock currently holds 87 billion in Bitcoin, accounting for more than 3% of the Bitcoin total supply. So this does, and the reason we have this is one of the big topics. This does immediately alarm, but when you look into it, it's about 10,000 people that have this 3%, right? Because this is the
ETF.
BlackRock ETF. Yeah. So this is kind of broken down in that. So when it does seem alarming, you have to look into it and see that BlackRock only owns like actual 7% of this ETF.
Yeah, it's I guess from that perspective, it's not as alarming. Who's custodying it? It's got to be. I think they have a deal with Coinbase, right?
Yeah.
So you probably feel pretty decent about that. But it's a lot. It's a lot. But I think this is a good sign as well, though, because like if you break it down, then you're talking about okay, TradFi is really, the people that are invested in more legacy type assets and stuff. They're coming into Bitcoin because they feel like it's something to kind of grow their wealth, right? And so in my opinion, this will help stabilize Bitcoin, and we'll see what kind of drawback it has. I can't imagine BlackRock and these huge, fund managers would allow their clients to have, a 60% drawdown and then, cause complete panic. And then their phones are, going crazy because they're just like, what's happening? All this stuff. So, I do think Bitcoin becomes more stable. And so what happens with the dynamic of Bitcoin and then Ethereum and then the rest of the alts, right? That's something that's starting to form, the relationship between Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think that has changed a little bit. But really the biggest thing now is like Ethereum's kind of like almost in that club with Bitcoin with, these people. Now their ETF is really growing. They're being, really hyped up by the Tom Lees, by the institutions and stuff. So there's going to be a club of two very soon, in my opinion. It's almost there already. What happens with the rest, right? And then and it's weird because then you got to imagine Solana, and then one by one they're going to be joining this club in some way. But then where does it stop? Because I think there's going to be kind of a hard stop at some point. Yes, there will be a risk on time where, you're going to be able to do those, 10, 20, 50, 100 X's. But man, we're going into new territory this cycle. I think memes are definitely still going to have their own category because they're about community growth and strength, the genuine ones. But what does utility look like? What does DeFi look like in the future? We're learning as this new era of crypto and digital assets comes into fruition.
Yeah, 100%. Good. Yeah. And just this BlackRock, I think this goes to 10% of the Bitcoin total supply. Do you agree with that?
I mean, yeah, if it's majority of their ETF, right? And so
Yeah.
I don't think that's a problem. You got to imagine that's probably going to continually grow, right? Unless something crazy happens, like a 60% decline, then probably the other way. But we'll see.
100%. Yesterday, 442 million in leverage positions were liquidated in the past 24 hours. So pretty crazy when you look at it like this way. This is all the liquidations and stuff like that. So yeah, you got to be very careful with leverage, guys. It's just one of those things where you got to be very careful with leverage. But Bitcoin dip mirrors past cycles, says crypto quant pullback may last 2 to 4 weeks. So this is the chart's really interesting. I'd love to get your opinion on this. So post having ROI 30-day correction. Do you think we get a 30-day correction in this? It's very, if we're here, I'm very happy. You know what I mean? Even if we do have a 30-day correction.
Yeah, but what does that correction look like? Does it look like doom and gloom? Pulling Bitcoin back, trying to maybe fake out below 100K, or is it just kind of retesting the 110 mark there and then
Yeah.
seeing if it can hold up? Regardless, I think even if we do get like a pullback that's more I'm expecting more of a tamer pullback. I'm not expecting that bleed out that we saw, even parts of earlier this year with Bitcoin at least. And then also Ethereum's pullback. I still think that the pullback, for both of those two are going to be pretty tame. I think it's going to be pretty tame. And I'm going off of, what we talked about with Marian yesterday. I'm going off of my thesis on the monthly chart with Ethereum. And so do we get a week and a half of, sideways with a downtrend? We kind of got the downtrend
Mhm.
already a little bit, right? So how much further down can we go? I think it does ping pong, like we said yesterday on that late Artura segment, our new show, between 4,000 and 4,400, right? So actually, if you believe that and you believe like, it's going to sweep the lows at 4,000 and then, get tested again at 44 a couple of times, that's a great swing trading opportunity because right now, probably not because Ethereum's kind of on its way back up for the first ping pong, in my opinion,
Yeah.
or maybe the second one. And so I if that's true, then we'll get to 44 back down, but then take advantage of that sweep on the downside, right? You got to get the confirmations though. That's the big thing that we talked about yesterday. The daily candle closes below that low sweep area of 4,000. Then you're like, okay, how much further are we going to go? If it closes above the
Yeah.
the 4,400 on the daily candle, then you're like, oh, how high is it going to go, right? So,
Mhm.
but if the daily candles keep closing in between, you're good for ping pong for a couple times.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. We'll see. What's worst case scenario? I think we talked a little bit yesterday on our tour show, but is like 108 the worst case scenario, or do you think worst case scenario can be under 100K? Like what? I don't feel like 100K is like under 100K is real. I don't think we'd ever go below 100K again. But what do you think?
Man, I think that would be pretty drastic. The one thing that did kind of open my eyes that my wife, out of all people, said was that, the institutions that are coming in, they don't want to pay, premium for these assets, right? So, if they get to bring it down cheap one more time before blast off, why wouldn't they do that?
Yeah,
But in terms of technicals, in terms of stability and what we've seen with strength, it is hard to see Bitcoin go below 100K. Like, I mean, honestly, I would be really concerned if it got below 108. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
feel like that was a pretty strong area of support before, and it kind of developed that, right? And then so it breaks down below that. Then you're talking about, okay, that's a real challenge now that it could, challenge the $100,000 price point, right? But I would say, probably not is what I would say right now. But we never know. I mean, these institutions, they're all about manipulation and tradfi, and so why wouldn't they do it over here?
yeah, 100%. I've been saying it forever, man. Like the smart money does not buy rips; they buy dips, right? So that's something that they've always done, and they'll continue to do. So they're buying up right now. You're seeing Tom Lee. Tom Lee's definition of smart money. He's one of the smartest players in the game. So,
Oh yeah.
but move along here. SEC Chairman Paul Atkins recently said only very few crypto tokens are securities, stressing that a token itself is probably not a security. So send it. Like this is the
Yeah.
opposite of Gary Gensler. This is the opposite of everything we've dealt with for the last 4 years. Gary didn't tell us. Gary won't even say if Ethereum was a security or not. Think about that for a second. We have an SEC chairman right now coming in and telling us that barely anything is a security, while the last chairman wouldn't even tell us if Ethereum was a security or not.
Yeah, look, this is everything that the administration has been doing and saying should be pumping the heck out of crypto and all these things, but it seems to be really just benefiting Bitcoin and Ethereum the most. That was the one thing I was just like, man, this is since Trump has actually come into office, and I still think that he's going to be very bullish for this industry and the markets. But he's giving me a hard time. His sales pitch is not really, convincing me right now, right? Because if you think about it, like, it's gotten harder as he's come into office. Now, I am probably thinking like the hard parts this first year, getting through all the obstacles. There's a lot of resistance against the administration. They want to do it the old way because they want to hold on to the way that they were able to, get ahead of everybody, the everyday person. And so that's a fundamental shift. And I think that, like, us in the digital asset space that is used to a 4-year cycle, to where, yes, we might have the SEC against us and the administration against us in previous cycles, but like, there was more liquidity, it seemed like, that would inject into the more risk on stuff. Right now, we're still early. So we're going to see how this plays out, because we have, until the end of the year. And then also, if we do get through all of the resistance against the administration this year, and we start to kind of, see the benefits of all these changes made, and, the pro crypto approach, 2026 could be a great year. That's my hope right now. That's my silver lining right there, is that, having a decent end of this year, but a much better post bull year, year would be amazing, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Let's move along though. Colin Talks Crypto. He says Bitcoin social media sentiment. My God, he says, I thought maybe social sentiment had increased since last month, but it's even lower than before. Let me show you the chart he's talking about. So social sentiment of Bitcoin it's the lowest it's almost ever been. I mean, we haven't been this low since 2017. I mean, this is insane. But you've seen, once it kind of did bottom, if this is the bottom here, it was up only from there. And obviously Bitcoin is the first thing that everyone knows about, and then you kind of dig deeper in what's the next Bitcoin, right, type of thing. And I think we should be getting this soon here. This looks kind of similar to this, and then a blast off. But I mean, we're seeing it on our socials, we're seeing it on our YouTube, right? Like it's people are just not here right now. Retail is not here. No matter how much we want to force it, it's the same 500 people that we've been talking to, you know what I mean, the last year and a half.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to take to get retail in, other than obviously, rate cuts and giving people more money and access to more, like, just stimulating the economy. And then number go up for a lot of, meme coins and stuff to get them excited while they have money. That was the problem, I think, is like every attempt to kind of get the digital asset space going, other than just, the traditional assets and Bitcoin, and now Ethereum joins that party, is that, like, I'm sure they're excited, but they're not willing to risk what they have right now for something that they feel like is risky. Right now, if they had extra, they'd probably be willing to risk that. So how can they get extra? That's the question. That's what will bring this back up. Also showing some, stability as well. And I think that our space needs more of that. I do think that. That's why I'm hoping, and I do believe, the Merlin chains, some of these other Bitcoin layer 2s, some of these Ethereum layer 2s that have solid fundamentals, really start to build, their use cases through, broader crypto, and also onboard the normie in some way that's not directly, hey, we're crypto flashy, you know what I mean? Come over here.
Yeah.
It's more of like, hey, aren't you interested in this, which is not necessarily directly related to crypto? Oh, you can do it through, you can use digital assets with it or whatever. You and I both know industries that will work very well with. And, we've been kind of, working with some stuff in the background as well. But once that happens, dude, that's whenever I feel like, the normie and stuff, the sentiment will change, other than just a lotto ticket, because that's what it's been in the past. The sentiment is better because lotto ticket, people made money, but a lot of people didn't. Now it's like, okay, maybe I could still hit, but like, give me something more, with stability.
Yeah, 100%. This kind of just shows me too that bull market hasn't started yet. I mean, we're not in a bull market. Like this is a TradFi upward momentum push. Like the bull market hasn't even started yet, in my opinion. We're about to see record numbers, guys. 700K Bitcoin is on the way. I can feel it. I can feel it. Feel it. But let's move along here. Secretary Bessent expects the stablecoin market to reach 2 trillion and become a key buyer of US Treasuries. I mean, Tate tweeted yesterday. He said,
Andrew Tate?
Andrew Tate tweeted
Wow.
yesterday. He said, this is from Scott Bessent, but Andrew Tate tweeted yesterday and he said, nobody's buying these shitty treasuries. Stable coins are the only ones buying them, and stable coins might actually save the dollar, or because the dollar is backed by bonds. You know what I mean? Basically, it's so you need the bonds to get bought up. So the stable coin, we talked about it yesterday. I mean, Wyoming's going to potentially take everyone's money, put it on chain, and then take that money and buy 4%, interest payments, right? They're basically going to get interest on everyone's money because they're going to wrap everyone's money into the stablecoin dollar, and then make, if they have, let's say they have $10 billion, potentially they're going to make out really well. Free money from the government for the state. I mean, it's genius. It's absolutely genius.
Yeah, no, it is. And this is kind of like the slow rollout plan that I was talking about, right? With Trump and his administration. I'm like, please tell me this is what's happening, because we have, like, I'm telling you, man, me and Shizzy, like, when we met and we first started covering the space, we were just like, okay, we work hard, we're gonna grind here. We can, like, literally, no following, nothing like that. And we've worked really hard to where we've gotten. But because we've seen like eventually we're going to get into that time of the cycle, and it's like, man, like what's the time of the cycle? What we thought is like, man, this ain't what I remember from 2021 or 2017. But at the end of the day, if you build something that lasts through hardships, it's well worth it. And that's kind of what we're going through right now. And that's what I'm hoping, like a statement like this will bring for 2026, right? Because if you do buy up the treasuries, that makes the dollar stronger. It gives more opportunity to stimulate the government in different ways, not traditional ways, but they'll find ways to do it. And so I think we're waiting for that, right? We're waiting for that economy to get stimulated, and eventually it'll come. Whether it's going to be an exciting time to finish this year, but maybe not as crazy as we thought. And then 2026, many opportunities might be there, right? So it's just, I think you got to stick with it and just get through it and survive and things like that, because there will always be a flip side to what you're going through eventually.
Yeah, 100%, man. Brazil to conduct a public hearing on proposed a national Bitcoin reserve. Could Brazil, one of the largest countries in the world, I think, right, by population, they got to be up there top 5. If they do this first, I think what this does, I mean, obviously El Salvador is the number one with this. They have more than they're basically on a Bitcoin standard over there. But a Bitcoin reserve, Brazil, I mean, would benefit them. And first mover advantage, man. I think whoever really does this first is really going to win. The US has one technically because it's just confiscated Bitcoin, but if they actually print money to buy Bitcoin, it could really send a lot of countries being like, okay, should we do this? Should we do that? In my opinion, that's how we get to 700K. Everyone calls me crazy, but nation states haven't started printing money to buy yet, and I think it's coming.
Yeah, and I've always said this. I think that Latin America would be one of the areas that would benefit the most from a Bitcoin reserve. Or, I mean, you've seen it with El Salvador, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
And then I think it was not Peru, Paraguay, I think it was, or Uruguay.
Yeah.
One of them decided to make it tender and follow El Salvador's blueprint, right? So I think that this will happen more and more. And you're right, that's whenever like nation states and huge institutions start to FOMO, that's whenever Bitcoin hits that hyper Bitcoinization for the globe. And we could see that crazy number, that crazy 500 to 700 million or 1,000 million would be crazy. That'd be probably like 30 years in the future. But
yeah, man, I think that this is going to really be absolutely huge. I 100% agree. Critics argue that declining Bitcoin block reward subsidy is a ticking time bomb for Bitcoin security. How here's how some suggest this could be solved. So I personally suggest that, you know, someone like the big miner, right? Foundry, all they have to do is build something in the Bitcoin L1 ecosystem. That's all they got to do, in my
Simple
opinion.
solution, man.
It's it. It's a simple solution. If the miners build on L1, we will play. Like, we will play. This is a Foundry product. I'm in. Sign me up. What are you guys doing over here? Okay, here. Let's. That is the only way they're going to be able to win. The miners have to get involved. I mean, why wouldn't you? Like, if someone's like, you know, let's just say if somebody's like, you know, building in your backyard and there's an opportunity for you to make money, why wouldn't you walk over and say, hey guys, what do I got to do? Right? Like,
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think this is the solution. And I think it's a simple solution in terms of like coming up with it, but maybe not so much from a technical and political standpoint. And I'll say because maybe they'll get pushed back for a conflict of interest. They're a minor and they're trying to create like a new,
no.
you know,
All they got to do is have
reward.
another company, like a subsidiary company. That's it, right? And that company, you know, it's all you do. You just fund it. Like, that's it. But I get what you're saying. Like you know, the cat eaters of the world. Well, and that's kind of why I wanted to do a cat meme as well. But kind of coming at him because he eats them. But you know what I mean? I get what you're saying.
That was funny how you kind of just nonchalantly rolled that in there. But yeah, he's talking about Luke Dash Jr. Everybody, no, I'm just kidding. No, he's not. No, I'm not kidding. He is talking.
Well,
about
I don't want to
He
get sued, bro.
He ain't got eat. No, he ain't gonna eat Trench Kitty. I'll tell you that. Trench Kitty fights in the trenches every day. But going back to your point, you know, the miners. The only thing is, okay, so like Satoshi created this, you know, reward system, and no one knew who he was. He vanished. And so if there's a brand that's behind it, that you know, I think there has to be some sort of like governance to agree all upon a bunch of people, like all the miners or something. You know, if they can get all the miners on board with it, maybe. But I'm on board with creating something, because you're gonna have to create something. Why not do it with you have degens here? You know what I mean? And if you're in the if the minor group is in kind of creating it, or like at least like supporting it, they can create an organization that like is to make it nonprofit or whatever. But at the end of the day, like you know, all the miners will benefit. You know, but we'll see. There's meta protocols and stuff that are coming out, like Spark and stuff like that. I wonder what, you know, their effect is going to be on mining rewards, if they're going to be, you know, increasing transactions so they can make more. But there has to be something that, you know, happens. I agree with that.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's get into our next topic here, which is the crypto fear and greed. So yesterday was a 53. Today, so last week was a 63. Yesterday was a 53. Where do you think we're at today? My hint for you was lower than yesterday by a lot. So lower than yesterday's 53.
48.
More. Oh my gosh, more. 45.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy low, bro? That's insanely low to me.
Well, the prices were pretty insanely low.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean,
Yeah.
and so it's kind of like, you know, Ethereum was at like 4130, I think, and you know, it was pretty low moment sentiment wise whenever that rating came out. So actually not too shocked with it. Today's rating is going to jump up, I imagine. I mean, Ethereum's almost to 4300 again, right?
Yeah.
So
100%. All right, let's jump into the Bitcoin price action. But first, if you guys, I'm going to be grabbing your comments right now. If you guys haven't put in the YouTube comments yet, we just need a TK and your Twitter handle. TK and then Twitter handle, and I will add you to the wheel. Let me show the wheel right now. I'm going to be adding really soon here, but I'll just show you guys what I have right now. I have these people, so let's get on this wheel. I do have to go in and grab a bunch of them. I'm going to do that right now while Yagobi's giving you guys a price action. But first, the Bitcoin price action is brought to you guys by Artura.finance. Artura, we had an amazing special with them yesterday. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m., we're going to be doing a show with them. It was awesome because it was just really Bitcoin charting, how to become a better trader, how to trade in volatility. If you haven't watched it yet, you can go watch it. It's on our channel as well. But I think that learning these stuff, it helps you, even if you don't trade, just because of the fact that you can kind of look at something and be like, okay, I know the direction we're going here. And that knowing the direction you're going, I mean, that going to take you to a very safe place and not leave you in the woods, right? So it's definitely that. So check out Artura.finance. You guys can go to A2100 Bitcoin. You can use that bridge to go over to Botonics. And then on Botonics, you can figure out a way to get PUSDs. Go to Bitsy. We have a tutorial video in our library as well. You guys can do that if you're interested. But I highly recommend getting over Artura on Botonics. So Botonics is giving away the biggest Bitcoin airdrop ever. You're going to get free Bitcoin for playing on Botonics. Easy as that, right? And on top of that, potentially get some points from Artura. And we know what points actually equal. And we know those guys are going to be pushing that. So shout out to Artura and check out Artura.finance.
Absolutely. And before we get into the Bitcoin price action, guys, help us out here on the YouTube side. Smash that like, sub the channel, and turn your notifications on so you know when we go live on X. Share the space on both the OnChain account and the Trench Kitty account as well. That's a new part of our community that is forming together here. So if you could share that, hit those likes as well. And then same thing with Abstract, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, and Spotify. We are everywhere, guys. So we're trying to bring the masses to the digital asset space. It's all about educating. And by the way, on the Artura new show, Alpha Gamer, myself, people that have that charting knowledge, welcome to kind of, interact in the chat. And if you ever want to come on, let us know too. We'll try to coordinate that as well. But appreciate each and every one of you guys. But let's jump into some Bitcoin price action here. And let me get my thing. There we go. Let me remove that. Do I got to reshare it? There it is. Okay, cool. All right, guys, we are going to start here on the hour chart. So it does look like we are doing a little bit of a turnaround here, a little bit of a U-turn. We'll see if we get a confirmation on that. But both the MACD and stochastics look really good with this. You can see here that the fast line on the MACD is looking like it's almost kind of vertical here. We do need to probably turn up a little bit more, but it's definitely not looking bad if we can kind of head back to the overbought territory, which is the 80-point mark. And we're at 60 right now in the stochastic, so not too bad. Let's look at the support and resistance. So the 1 hour chart is going to give us a little bit of a forecast for the next 2, 4, 6, 8 hours, right? Anywhere between 4 and 8 hours, I would say. Well, let's look at the support and resistance that we have here, going back from this morning, pulling up since 4 a.m. You can see at the price point that we're at right now at the 114. 120, the support is strong right here above 2 at the 114.230, above here as well. And I mean, it balances out right here, but it's not really getting dominated at all. So really support looking really good. When we come down here at the 113,800 though, it it kind of flips a little bit. This is where it starts to flip. But then right below that we have really strong support at the most, like the strongest volume area. So this actually looks like a really good setup here for the next 2-4 hours, because you can see like not much volume in here. So we'll probably ping pong and we have the advantage because not much volume here as well. And where the support is definitely dominating. I would say the support's dominating this whole region right here. And then we get that really strong support dominance here, where the volume is most. So if I were to say, I do think that this is going to happen. I do think that we come back up on the MACD and the stochastics and probably try to head to overbought territory. So, maybe we are going to grind back up to that 115, 115.5. Well, we could get a little bit, happy and maybe try to knock on the door of 116. I know that seems, $2,000 jump's not that much, right, for Bitcoin. So it can definitely happen. So that's what I'm seeing here on the hour chart. It looks pretty good, especially with those VRVP support and resistance levels. Support seems to be dominating. Let's take a look at the 4 hour chart. Man, Jesus, baby Jesus, please take us out of sell pressure here. I'll tell you, man, we have been in sell pressure on the 4 hour chart for Bitcoin going back to the 14th of August, right? We had a little bit of a breather in between. And then this really, stretched out way longer than I expected with the second stretch of the sell pressure, and plus the MACD fast line was just showing us, more we want down. So do we close this out? That would be a great thing if we can close this sell pressure out on the MACD and then finally go into some decently strong buy power. We haven't really had decent, but we did have a really good stretch, back in, this is all the way back in, the beginning of August, though. It went from August 3rd to the 11th. So, yeah, this has only kind of lasted us, I guess, we're talking about 9 days now. So, but it looks like it's about time to switch, right? You know, it's about even of what we saw here over here. So we'll see if we can close this up. If we can get confirmation, we need to see this blue line on the MACD cross over the orange line. That needs to happen. That will give us that confirmation. It doesn't always work. You saw this happen here, but I don't foresee 2 fake outs like that. Who knows? Could happen though, especially if we get bad news or something like that. But yeah, 4 hour looks pretty good. I like the setup here, guys. I like the setup here. Now, can we get faked out? Absolutely. We've been getting faked out all year, right? So could we get faked out? Yeah, we could. But I like our chances. I like our chances here on the 4 hour chart. If that happens, we could see, you know, a decent Thursday, Friday, and then we'll see what it's like heading into the weekend. You know, people are waiting on Jay Powell's speech to see if he's going to be dovish or hawkish. And if he's dovish, that could set us up for a good weekly candle close, right? So looking here at the daily chart, so we definitely need to come out of this for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been, you know, so today giving us a good day will definitely start to weaken this right here. The MACD indicator will probably start to flash white here. We'll start to see this curl up, and that's what I'm hoping for. Our stochastics though does look like it's a bit early. I mean, we just reached, you know, oversold territory not long ago. I mean, you're looking at like on the 16th is whenever we kind of started to get in here. So about 4 days. You know, if this does go turn white, and we also have a good shorter time frame, like the 1 hour and 4 hour, you know, we could start to see a curl up here with a good strong day, getting back to 116 today. That would definitely help and start that, make the setup look better heading into the weekend. But I don't like that we just got here. But hey, something similar happened on the buy side, on the overbought territory as well, though. It just got there and then exited. So, you know, we could see something similar and just do the opposite, the inverse reaction there. But yeah, so daily doesn't look the best. Let's take a look real quick at the weekly chart. Zoom out here a little bit on Bitcoin. So I've been really comparing the second leg to the first one, or this leg right, or these 2 legs right here that was in the fall of 2023. It definitely started to, you know, look that way with a little, now we're seeing a little bit longer of a break in between. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Do we get something like this, a continuation to the second leg, or do we start to kind of break down before heading up? I'm, you know, weekly chart, I think maybe we get a little bit more sideways, something like this, with a maybe even stronger leg to finish the year. You know, like maybe a really, you know, 1 week candle that goes really ballistic. We'll see. But yeah, so I'm not too worried. I still think this has some room to open back up here on the MACD on the weekly, and you know, we could turn things around before heading back down. We have for about three months left, pretty much, to finish out the year. Three months and a week, around there. So I don't think we have too much time for too many candles here. So we'll see. All right, so let's take a look here at Ethereum. Ethereum on the hour chart, definitely looking great on the hour chart. You see this bounce back looking really strong. I mean, it was similar to Bitcoin's as well, but you know, things look really good for the hour. Let's see if we can reverse. And then also, it's going to be very, very important to see, you know, if it does, you know, get really hyper aggressive, do we finish, you know, above that $4,400 mark, right? Do we get a daily candle close above this area right here? Because if we do, then, you know, if we can get this candle to close above here, that could give us some confirmation that we could see higher. But if we don't, and it just, you know, we finish around like 43, and then it starts to go back down, then might keep ping-ponging back and forth between these areas here, right? So we'll see how that works out with Ethereum. They're going to be in tandem, Bitcoin and Ethereum, for the time being. You know, it's just going to happen that way. If Bitcoin and Ethereum get aggressive, we could see Ethereum kind of run a little bit past it. But in terms of being like on the trending down, they're going to be in similar kind of sentiments. So that's what I'm seeing for Bitcoin and Ethereum, guys. Let's take a look at the crypto bubbles. Looks much better than it did yesterday. I'm gonna hit on a couple of these notables, and then I think we might have a guest joining us here in a second. Yeah, pump is back up. I guess that's a good thing because a lot of people said that that was a really good play as it dumped all the way to 0.00, almost 1. It's up 9.3%. So for all of you guys that were probably crying saying that, hey, pump's doing the thing again, it has reversed again. So we'll see if that can continue. You got Aerodrome, the main DEX for Coinbase for their base on-chain um, uh, I guess protocol that's going to be on their app. So they are up 6.7%. Chainlink is up 6.2%. OKB, man, that supply burn has really helped a ton because I mean it's been up a lot.
Yeah.
I think maybe even when everything was red, it was up a little bit, but we'll see. You got Pengu down 4.4%, Hex pulling back 3.8%, Monero pulled back 7.5%. So we were actually talking to Murian, the guy that's really the expert chartist and trader over with Artura, said that Monero taking a hit because there's a new protocol, I think that used to be called Money, that's taking a lot of attention away from, right?
No, it got hit because someone 51% attacked it.
Money?
No,
Oh,
XMR.
Monero. Okay, so then that kind of gave the other protocols that had something similar to
Yeah,
offer a boost up. Makes sense. Okay.
100%.
Yeah, Monero dropped 7.5%. You got Aave pulling back up 3.8%. Ethan the Green at 1.7%. Dog Whiff pulling up 2.4%. I mean, it is encouraging to see some of these meme coins pull up. You know what I mean?
It's about to get meme season, baby.
Yeah, so
Cut it.
Trump pulled up 1.4%. You got Virtuals pulling up 3.6%, Arbitrum pulling up 2%, Uniswap pulling up 1.3%, Doge in the green again, 0.4%, Stacks pulled back 0.6%. Let's take a look at the top 200 here. All right, we got Zora pulling back 10%. Interesting. I mean, they ran up a lot like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. So I guess they're still kind of selling down that. Useless, which I think it's like the largest meme coin in the Bonk Fund ecosystem.
Yeah.
I think they were announced that they're going to be launching on or listing on Coinbase. So they're still benefiting from their listing announcements. They're up 8.5% there. What else do we see here? ZBCN back up in the green, up 4.4%. Meme Land pulling up 19.2%. Cato pulling up 6.8%. Yeah, so looking pretty good. Jasmine pulling up 1.2%. Dog pulling back 0.8%, but not worried about Dog. That community is very, very strong. But yeah, that's going to be the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of these alts that we covered in the bubbles, crypto bubbles. So if you guys ever want us to check a token, just drop it in the chat. Appreciate you guys.
100%, man. Great job as always on that. And guys, we'll get to all your comments in a second. But first, we want to do. We're lucky enough to have Jeff from Minelabs join us, guys. And real quick before we bring him up, I just want to show you. I'll show it at the beginning of the show. We'll show it again because it's phenomenal. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. They whipped that up this morning, guys. It was awesome to see how quick they came up with. Shout out to their team over there. But without further ado, let's bring up Jeff. Jeff, welcome back, buddy. It's great to have you.
Yo. Big day, eh?
Yeah, big day, man. We just want to give you and your team a big thanks. From On-Chain Revolution and the Trench Kitty community, and that was flawless. That execution was just really smooth. You guys did an amazing job, and you're a media person, man. Great, much better than me. I'm the media person for our team. Whenever you're a two-man team, you gotta be utility, Swiss Army knife. But yeah, man, you guys crushed it. Thank you so much for all the support. You guys are huge in the Bitcoin infrastructure at Solana as well. So thank you so much.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. And I think this is probably an approach that we've taken slightly differently to a lot of other infrastructure projects in the way that, one of the main issues we ran into in the early days was teams not having the know-how or having the liquidity or whatever it was that was required to actually get them activated on other chains. This is less of an issue when you're taking assets from Ethereum to Solana or something like that, because everyone's entrenched. You got all your big whales, and there's a lot of liquidity flowing around. But in the Bitcoin space, obviously, we've had to take a much more hands-on approach to actually doing these launches, and we try and do our part to help market everything, bring awareness to what's actually happening in our space. So yeah, we've ended up with this very tailored and curated launch experience that we offer out to our partners. And it's great working with interesting teams like yourselves who are looking to do something that it fits very much with what we see kind of the future of Bitcoin assets, as I like to call them. People, you got your runes and your meme coin preferers, but for me, it's like, these are Bitcoin assets. Your token was always planned to be on the Bitcoin chain with, a large amount of your supply over there and everything like that. But as we all know, like we've even tried with our own launch products, it's still not easy being able to replicate something like what Solana can offer you in a launch experience. And, the ability to tap into those high numbers of users, high numbers of liquidity, and just that ability to expand your kind of user base and get attention from the early days, and then bring that attention back to Bitcoin. So, to begin with, we were very much about making Bitcoin assets available on other chains so that we could kind of spread the word. Whereas, a real key focus of ours right now is to take other assets, whether they want to call them runes or not originally, that's obviously up to whoever, what you define your token as, but bringing those assets back to the Bitcoin network is something that we're putting a lot of energy into right now. And, this is just another great example of how teams can go about launching a token, but making sure that they claim their stake on Bitcoin, claim their IP. And, like, obviously, if Solana went down, it wouldn't be ideal, but at least you have those assets on Bitcoin. We could run recovery programs for wallets and stuff like that, and that Bitcoin will never be going anywhere. So your token is secure in that sense.
100% too. And the best part about this approach that we did, and for maybe someone out there who's thinking about doing something similar and using you guys RuneMine, we have a liquidity pool now on Solana that has $53,000 that we didn't have to put up. Right, so we created this token. The community went for it. They loved it. We're going to stand by it. We're going to front face this thing. And now we didn't have to put up $53,000 in the liquidity pool, and it's there. It's there on Solana. It's one of the biggest buy buttons in the world. Is the Solana chain now, because everyone seems to have a Phantom wallet. I mean, I meet people every day. They're like, "Yeah, I got on my Phantom wallet." I'm like, "You're in crypto?" So it's shocking sometimes. And then you have the people in the Bitcoin ecosystem, the strong hands, the holders. It's like kind of like the best of both worlds doing it this way and using you guys.
Yeah, we've always said the Solana and Bitcoin ecosystem complement each other by being so opposite in every different level, whether it's on the technology, the speed, the throughput, and everything like that. We all say in the room space and everything, it's a feature, not a bug, when it comes to like slow block times and everything. But when you have this very high velocity blockchain where users churn over super quickly and it onboards millions and then it loses millions, and these are all very specific characteristics of the Solana blockchain. When you then merge that with kind of the cultish nature of the Bitcoin ecosystem, with the eternal belief of like what we all see as the future, you end up getting this best of both worlds. This is why we chose Solana in the first place. We're super excited about launching our EVM bridges that are coming like any day now. But
whoa,
it was
yeah. Hold on. You can't just skip over that. What's going on? Any day now. What do you guys have cooking?
Yeah, so we've been working for a while on this. We actually built this module quite a long time back. It was audited in our second Halborn audit that we did. So these smart contracts have been built and audited a long time ago. Initially, we were kind of looking towards the Bitcoin L2 space, but obviously, there's the uptake of these chains has been a little bit slower than we maybe would have hoped when we were designing it in the first place. But being as it is an EVM bridge module, this means that we can deploy this anywhere we want. So over the past month or two, we've been having many discussions with lots of teams from the Ethereum and Base ecosystems potentially looking to do similar to what you guys have done and bring their tokens over. But now, as things have progressed and we've seen Kraken kind of taking on runes, and there's a bit more hype in the rune space again, we have pretty much every one of the leading runes now looking to go to either Ethereum or Base. I won't tell you which ones are going where, because I can't say that, but I'm pretty much tell you everyone will be on either Ethereum or Base. And we're really kind of just finding the time, between our airdrop, this launch, we've got another Solana launch coming up, which will probably be next week. And then hopefully the week after that, the stars should align. I know a couple of the teams are really keen to get moving in the next couple of weeks. So we should be launching either Ethereum or Base. It's still up for grabs depending on which runes team is ready first, because they've got their preferences of which ones they want to go to. And then, the cool thing about these bridge expansions is, and we're very much working on this Bitcoin focused Bitcoin asset. But these bridge modules are interactable between each other. Like, you can already do Solana to near transactions right now with Bitcoin assets. There is only the Mine token and Dog token currently on there. But once we open up the gates to Base and Ethereum, you're going to be able to do these transfers of any runes asset listed on our bridge between Solana, Ethereum, Base, and everything like that. So it really kind of opens up the doors. And then I think the final thing that kind of gets us really excited about that is when we start talking to our partners like Ducat, who have got their unit stablecoin come in, and over collateralized Bitcoin stablecoin, and then suddenly it's like, well, actually, if you want to transfer value around the crypto ecosystem, a Bitcoin backed over collateralized stablecoin available on multiple blockchains, tradable between Ethereum and Solana, that really starts making some sense, and it really starts showing off like what the Bitcoin ecosystem has done and how it can be utilized in all of these other ecosystems simultaneously.
Wow. So if we wanted to, we could potentially have you guys, since our Trench Kitty's already over there, we could potentially have you put our token on Base, and then we can put up a liquidity pool. So Trench Kitty could be on Base.
Yep. And that would, it would really open up the doors as well, especially because, obviously at the moment, the dominant amount of liquidity and supply is on Solana. Well, users wouldn't have to go through Bitcoin. They could just go between Base and Solana if they wanted to, if that was, they so chose, or go from Base to Bitcoin.
Yeah, and I think that would be actually a good opportunity as well, because I think Aerodrome is the decentralized exchange for Coinbase's on-chain stuff, and so you can actually purchase any token through their app that is on-chain that's not listed there. So it opens the door for that, and I do believe that like fungibles are going to be cross-chain in the future as it gets more and more of these options are known about, right? I think it was so tribalistic before, whenever like the early days of DeFi, because you learn that initially, and then you build that's where your monetary value lives. So then you just have this tribal mentality, but then that's not how like mass adoption ever happens, right? Like, yes, people might still hang in different chains, but I see a future to where like you can see Trench Kitty on like maybe like 4 of the most like robust chains in the future.
Yeah, 100%. I think one of the things that's kind of really held us back here, and people kind of argue for and against this, but not having better cross-chain wallets and cross-chain gas solutions. I think this was one of the reasons we were really excited working with Near, and we're absolutely going to be kind of expanding further into their ecosystem and looking to utilize some more of their technologies. But it's this ability for users to utilize another blockchain without having to go through, find a new wallet, find a new gas token, work out where you're getting it. I'm fully on chain. I don't use centralized exchanges. It can be a pain for me to get a gas token for another chain quite often when I'm trying to like bridge an asset across to it in a new wallet and stuff like that. So I think there's a few things like that are going to get really good solutions in the near future. And then like Phantom's already a pretty decent well, I say pretty decent, it's all right. They got some work to do, they need rooms.
Yeah.
But we're starting to see this where like you could maybe just have your Phantom wallet and you can have your runes, your Solana SPL runes, or just normal SPLs, and then you could have, because they've got the EVM BPM support in there already as well. So, at some point in the near future, there's a good chance that you can hold your Bitcoin assets on any of the major chains in your Phantom wallet. And then if they can just solve a little bit when it comes to like the gas, like just funding gases, if you can fund gas from other chains or spend gas from other chains, I think that's really kind of the last key that we're missing here to really remove this tribalism and unlock this kind of interoperable blockchain world that we've all been talking about I've been talking about it for like 6 years now.
Yeah, and real quick, I found a workaround because when I bridged in this morning, I bridged to my Phantom Bitcoin wallet, and obviously the rune didn't show up, but I went to Magic Eden, connected it, and I was able to see and send my rune from Magic Eden using the Phantom wallet. So there is that workaround for the Phantom wallet right now.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, well, the wallets are there. It's just their UI support that's just not doing the job yet. But yeah, I think it's happening, and I think it will come like pretty soon, where the onboard experience will be this. I always compare it to the early days of the internet, where you had to like find your server and download the information that you wanted from each place. Whereas when we experience the internet these days, you have no idea who you're connecting to, where you're getting this information from. It's like irrelevant. Well, we're in that transition mode from Web 1 to Web 2, where we're going from Web 3 into like this proper multi-chain, fully usable and user-friendly blockchain ecosystem. And this is something that we're obviously working really hard to kind of push the envelope forwards, and mainly to include Bitcoin in this, because it's insane to me that it's taken this long for Bitcoin to have any kind of connection to the rest of the crypto industry. And especially when you look at like the amount of Bitcoin traded on centralized exchanges, it's like 98% of Bitcoin is traded on a centralized exchange.
I know.
Decentralized crypto in the world, and all anyone does is holds it on a centralized exchange.
Yeah, and it's an oxymoron the way that they try to stick to their the Bitcoin maxi mentality, the old Bitcoin maxi mentality, because I think the new maxi is different, much more open-minded. But it's like they're like, oh, I want to just everything else is trash except for Bitcoin. Number one, the rest of the crypto industry is not going to just go away. It's not going to die. You know what I mean? So it's going to be here. So unless you want it to constantly be like a mosquito to your ear, you got to embrace it, right? And I feel like that's what this new generation of Bitcoin maxis. Obviously, Bitcoin is the most solid asset in our space. We know that. But when it comes to how the space is going to move forward, and people use Web3 on a day-to-day without knowing it, that's how mass adoption happens. And so yeah, I think it's really funny because they talk about the self-sovereignty and only do that, but then 90% of Bitcoin is being traded on a centralized exchange. So without that centralized exchange component, Bitcoin wouldn't be successful. They don't realize that.
Yeah, and I think that leads into the same thing of like, not every so centralized exchanges have played an incredibly important part in the evolution and the adoption of Bitcoin itself. When the early days of the Runes ecosystem, like there's been all of this talk about like decentralization, and lots of the Bitcoin maxis and stuff said, lots of the things that were built, the early forms of dot swap were centralized, and most of the infrastructure that have developed in the Runes ecosystem started with some amount of centralization, and that is now being evolved into these kind of decentralized architectures. And this is the same route that we've taken. We've taken security as the first primary focus of our bridge, and we spend more money on audits than pretty much any other team I know, and then we're going to kind of branch out. So there's a lot of strong opinions about like all of these different things, but the way I see it is blockchain technology as a whole is revolutionary, and it's going to change a lot about the world. Bitcoin is much more than that in the sense of what it does financially as a new form of money, as a new form of currency, but the ability to then have DeFi and the interactions of Bitcoin with other blockchains, whether it comes through wrapped assets or chain abstraction or whatever way that we go about doing it, having Bitcoin connected to these other ecosystems powers Bitcoin in the future. And we all know without Runes and what we're all working towards here, that we have a security budget issue coming up in the future. So we need more transactions, we need more use cases, and utilizing Bitcoin with other blockchains enables that user onboarding to Bitcoin, but also exporting some of the things that maybe Bitcoin isn't the best at doing, or to people that aren't willing to come over yet to the Bitcoin L1.
Yeah, Couldn't have said it better. Absolutely amazing. 100%. You guys did something really, really cool these past couple of days, and oops, sorry. So what the?
Sorry, that was my bad. I was trying to take it down
It's
for
all
you.
good. So all right, so Minelabs just airdropped their mine utility runes of 5,000 runestone puppets and Bitcoin wizards, and this is absolutely looking insane. By the way, phenomenal job. Could you kind of maybe talk about what was this all about?
Yes, so of course, you know, we ran a claim campaign a long time ago. We did one for in the Solana ecosystem for the Solana mobile Saga and Seeker holders, and we ran a bunch in the Rune space for Runestones, puppets, and wizards holders. We do actually have one more airdrop that's we're kind of reforging, and we're going to rerun now that things have advanced, which is for our bridge users and for SPL Runes token holders. But yeah, you know, we wanted to, you know, it's important to have good distribution of your token. It works obviously as an amazing marketing effect. You know, our token's only small at this point. I've been airing a lot of my opinions on Twitter recently about its valuations, but you know, this is the space that we're in, and it was just a chance for us to kind of really push this out to as many people, get it in as many wallets as possible, so that people can see that we are actually a rune. Like, we see the mine token as a rune. We launched it on Solana. This is our theory, much like you guys. But then we bring it home to Bitcoin. What we've actually done in the last week or so is we bridged about a third of the entire supply over into the Bitcoin ecosystem. So there's now about a 50-50 split on this liquidity, the supply on Bitcoin and the supply on Solana. And you know, we've also got someone near. We'll be going to these other blockchains in the future. So yeah, you know, it's also, we like to do things that you know, we run our own .swap Nexus node. We like to kind of be involved and show what things can be done on the blockchain. So we ran this one with the help of our lovely Greg, who was amazing and helped us get this out at a really good timing, so the transaction fees weren't so crazy. And yeah, you know, it's only a small airdrop right now, but we have very big plans for this token. You know, mainly leading into what is the next phase, which I'm finalizing the documents right now, but we'll be releasing Mine Tokenomics V3, where we're taking 100% of the net revenue of our bridge, and we'll be buying mine up off the open market and driving essentially all the revenue of the product that we put our blood, sweat, and tears into the token, so that it's not just, you know, we could have taken bigger salaries. We could have, in fact, actually, we've stopped taking salaries so that we can do more buybacks. But we've basically, we want everyone to benefit from the price increase of the mine token at the same time. So we're kind of putting everything into this. We've spent a lot of time building the infrastructure and building the ecosystem and community around us, and now we're going to kind of drive all of that attention and all of that revenue into our own token. And we've got staking on Solana. We're about to launch staking on Bitcoin, as well as staking for our Runes Keys ordinals on Bitcoin as well. So, you know, we're really kind of going to be buying these up off the market and then giving them back to the strongest hands. You know, if you lock up for 1 year, 2 years, 4 years, you get the highest APY. Therefore, these tokens that we buy off the market are actually being sent to our community with the most conviction in what we're building. And, you know, that has a very positive flywheel around it. It attracts more users to come in and stake for even longer. And, you know, we're just trying to set this flywheel off in motion right now.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal, man. It's amazing. It's really amazing. It's amazing to see that you guys are so about the Bitcoin ecosystem, but you guys are smart enough to be everywhere and nowhere all at once, right? So
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. You know, this is something that we've been trying to kind of make sure that we are seen in each of these ecosystems. You know, we made some very good connections with the Near protocol and the teams over there. I'm currently reaching out to the growth team of Base to get some support around tokens launching over to Base. We're an incredibly well connected team for such a small team in a niche ecosystem, and I think that comes with the territory, because we're cross chain and we're talking to everyone. We've got some really great connections across all different ecosystems, and we're going to make sure Bitcoin assets are seen in all of these ecosystems until everyone gives the whole Rune space the respect we believe it deserves, and also our own token.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, I imagine that you're probably not going to just stop at base. You know, have you thought of maybe like abstract or other chains as well that might fit in that EVM family, that you know might do well with runes and stuff like that? Or is it just kind of you're taking it just one at a time and seeing how it does there first?
Yeah, it all comes down to liquidity. It all comes down to, can we get teams with liquidity? You see a lot of teams claiming that they were the first to bridge to this chain or to bridge to this chain, but if there's no liquidity on the other side, if there's no marketing, then what's the point in doing it? And if anything, it just makes confusion because people buy the wrong token when they think it's the one that's actually being traded, and you can run into a lot of issues there. So with the way that our contracts are built, we can deploy this to any EVM chain. One that we're super keen to do and trying to get around to is the Botanix spider chain. We're super bullish on them. I know some of your partners like Artura and all are over there. They were really big supporters of us in the early days. It's just the way that things have kind of gone on our end. We've had to focus our energy. The rune space hasn't picked up the way that we hoped it would by now, and therefore we've kind of had to focus our energy where made the most sense. But I know spider chain is definitely up on our list as one of the kind of major Bitcoin L2s. We were in conversations with Core Chain and BitLayer. I believe we've actually deployed contracts on their chain, but just never had the runes partners ready to move over and support with liquidity. And we do an amount of liquidity support ourselves. We're part of the seeding pool of Dog on Near, but we only have limited funds that we can do there. And really, we need more liquidity to come into the space before we can push too many more chains. So that will be the deciding factor. If someone wants to go to abstract and they've got 100, 200 grand's worth of liquidity, we can go to abstract. If they want to go pretty much anywhere at this point, we can deploy EVM chains at the drop of a hat. We just need the space to be ready for it. And again, if we get a team from abstract ready to come over to Bitcoin, that's exactly the same. Then we can deploy. But until there's the kind of liquidity and the marketing and the community ready to back us, we're not just going to be kind of pushing these out willy-nilly to claim our stake,
Yeah. Well, another thing too is maybe we're starting something here. You guys did it first with mine token launching on Solana, and what that does is obviously you guys probably took like did you guys do like a pre-sale like ICO? So you raised it that way. For us, we raised it through Launchpad. Maybe that's the approach. Is maybe there needs to be a Bitcoin Launchpad, Bitcoin meme coin Launchpad on these chains to get that initial raise to be able to create the LPs with Nexus and dot swap. That's how maybe we've been doing it the other direction, incorrect. Maybe it needs to, get that raise for that initial liquidity. Then it starts to live on both chains and stuff. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, 100% agree. We obviously, this was kind of the idea around RuneShot itself, but including some of that abstraction away so that Bitcoins can come and use it in a more simplified fashion. It's not really, obviously the volumes have dropped right off, and the Near ecosystem hasn't maybe picked it up quite as much as we had hoped. We were in a funny kind of middle ground where we tailored it to Bitcoiners on Near, and then didn't really manage to capture either of those markets appropriately. But yeah, we fully believe like this is the case. If you can find yourself a good blockchain, you can do a bonding curve launch because they just make the most sense for especially for meme coins, but for a lot of projects, like they really do make the most sense. And then you can use developer fees, you can use the revenue that this can bring you to then seed LPs on Bitcoin, and then start looking further abroad or whatever your plans are in the future. We think this is a really strong narrative for Rune's launches, and we've seen the success of Odin in their weird niche where we don't see it, but we know what's happening. And I think there's definitely an appetite for this, and the main issue has always been that we don't have enough users in the Rune space yet. And as that changes, and with Kraken now backing us, I'm pushing on a lot of the Solana dexes to really get behind this. We do a lot of our work with Meteora, and I'm kind of constantly pushing them to actually back this idea. I think then we could see a whole new wave of this happening where it doesn't matter whether you consider it a rune or not, but your first point of call should always be launch your token on the chain where it has the most effect. bring it to Bitcoin, claim your stake, and then you can go wherever you want after that.
Yeah. It seems like Tim Baker said, he said, we didn't get the Rune Mine airdrop from our runestones. It was it to every runestone holder? No, it was only to 5,000, right?
Yeah, so this was it was a while back now. We ran a claim campaign where users just had to fill in a really simple form that just said what your wallet address was, and then we double checked that against a snapshot of the holders. So yeah, unfortunately, it's not for everyone. Again, our market cap is still tiny at the moment, so the airdrop was a very small airdrop. If you like what I'm saying and you're interested, you can go buy the Mine token on Bitcoin, Near, or Solana. Yeah, we have liquidity on all three chains. You know, our market cap's insane. We're at $1.5 million FDV market cap, closer to $700,000 circulating, and we're about to start pumping all of our revenue into this Mine token. So, you know, we're going to put our money where our mouth is, and we're going to keep buying this token until other people start realizing.
Love it.
Love it. Love it. What's the ticker for Bitcoin?
For Bitcoin, it's mine. Mine. Mine.
By the way, we're also doing for our members for the TK airdrop. We have a Google form as well, and I know that we already asked you guys to submit your addresses in that members only video. It only captures the members, but it just wasn't good. YouTube updated their security model, so we're gonna drop that Google Forms link in there, and so we'll put out a members video with all the details. So just stay tuned.
Yeah. So Jeff, my final question for you, man, is you know, you did this to the chart, man. This is Rune Mines. This is what you guys did. Absolutely amazing. Is Jeff a holder of Trench Kitty? That's all I want to know.
I have got myself a little bag. Don't you worry. I end up having a bag of. I've pretty much got a bag of the vast majority of runes in the runes ecosystem now. So yeah, I'll be cheering along as we go. And you know, your guys' success is our guys' success. So we're rooting for you. We're super game to kind of carry on pushing this together. We love the fact that this is, you know, a really community focused meme coin launch, and as you guys say, like, you're here, you're showing your faces, you're not some shady dev on pump.fun that's going to fucking run away at any minute. So we're much more happy to kind of, you know, actively work with you guys and kind of to keep pushing this forwards. And you know, it feeds into what we believe is the future and a narrative that we're trying to push, where, you know, you can launch or you can be an active token on any chain you want, but you should consider coming to Bitcoin, because if you don't, you never know what the future holds. But we do know that Bitcoin will be here forever.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one other thing too is the educational part. Like you said, we're here Monday through Friday, you know, about 3 to 4 hours with shows and segments and stuff like that. And so for us, like, I feel like sometimes things don't catch because the messaging just needs to be pushed out there by front facing people. And that's who we are. So we are going to push this message that, hey, look, you know, Rune Mine exists to be able to allow, you know, tokens to be born somewhere else to also come over to Bitcoin, vice versa as well. And, you know, it's a big infrastructure tool, and take advantage of it, right? And be open-minded and build the community that way, because at the end of the day, like, you know, the entire crypto broader space, you know, it's one, like crypto Twitter. It's like one kind of huge family. Yes, there's the annoying uncle that gets drunk every weekend, Solana. No, I'm just kidding. But but the point is that, like, that's how you grow true community, and we need that genuine community and HODL culture back, man.
100%.
Yeah. And, you know, our DMs are always open. If teams are planning to launch or they already have a token and they just want to have a conversation with us, just drop us a DM, come in our Discord, open a ticket. And as you guys can attest to, we will work with you from start to finish. I know you guys obviously etched your own rune as we were very busy, but most of the time we handle all of that for the teams as well. So, you know, we'll really kind of walk you through it step by step. Whether you don't know how to LP and you don't know how things work on Solana, we'll show you how that works. We'll connect you with the dexes and the teams over there to get set up. If you're from another chain, you want to come to Bitcoin, we'll etch your rune, we'll introduce you to DotSwap, we'll introduce you to Liquidium, and then you can get everything set up and ready to go. So the whole process is a very catered for experience that we've been building.
Oh wow, we should reach out to Liquidium and be able to borrow against TK.
100%. I'll create a group chat after this call.
No, we got them. Appreciate that though. But Jeff, man, absolutely amazing. We'd love to give you stage one last time. Is there anything else you need to say to the audience? The stage is yours.
Yeah, cross-chain infrastructure's here. Bitcoin's part of the growing crypto ecosystem. Keep your eyes out. We'll be dropping the mine tokenomics later today if I can get this all finalized. And as soon as we drop that, we start the buybacks. And, we're going to buy this token until people kind of revalue it. You can go do some valuations compared to other projects in a similar space, and you can see what kind of difference there is. But, if people don't want it yet, we'll buy it until people start FOMOing in. So that's kind of the plan moving forwards. We want our community to come along on the ride for us, whether they're our key holders or our mine token holders on Solana, on Bitcoin, on there. It doesn't matter. We're going to kind of keep building this infrastructure, keep expanding our dominance, because we are the Runes bridge, and we plan to continue being the Runes bridge. If Runes succeed, then we succeed, and we'd like everyone to kind of grow with us at the same time.
Absolutely amazing. Thanks, Jeff, man. Really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's a pleasure as always.
All right, man. Take care.
Safe.
Absolutely awesome. It's really cool to have him there, man. He had our back, guys. We're a very small team, and there's two of us, right? But they helped us. They walked us through a lot of it. I reached out to Jeff on I think like Saturday, and today they have the bridge open for us, the launch on Sunday. So it's a phenomenal. If you guys are interested in that, 100%. But let's kind of get in your comments. And guys, remember, we're giving away 300,000 kitty token, trench kitty tokens. You're gonna want these. I'm 100%. They're gonna be Bitcoin runes, so I will need your Bitcoin address. But for right now, I'm gonna get through all the comments. Make sure I have all the names on the wheel here, and then we'll spin it. So probably in around 30 minutes, we'll spin this wheel. But right now, let's jump into your comments and do some roll call here. So the first comment of the day was Matt's. Congratulations to you, my friend. Let me make sure I have you down on my list. Matt's absolutely awesome. I know it's not your first time. I'll make sure I get your number all caught up, but appreciate you, man, being the first. We have Tazani is here. Appreciate you, my friend. West Bottoms Market, dropping my heart and like now. Good morning, TK. Abstract is here. He has his TK in there. Vader Time, you're on the list as well. Spindrift against Toshi Nakamoto is here. Remember, guys, put TK. I can't add you to the wheel unless you do a TK in there, unless I know your Twitter. If I know your Twitter handle, that's fine. If we have open conversation, that's not a big deal. Glasshopper is here. Shout out to Glasshopper. He says 200 holders. Are we still at 200 holders even with the bridge open?
219.
Nice. Hell yeah. Mr. Hanky is here. Shout out to Mr. Hanky.
Let's
Lorenzo
go.
is here. Shout out to Lorenzo. Johnny Gonzalez, my guy. Appreciate you, my friend. There was a trench kitty in there. Lackey Lukey is here. Appreciate you, my friend. Green Man, absolutely awesome as always. Johnny Gonzalez is here. Johnny says, I'm excited to see what new announcements we have for Trench Kitty. So one of the announcements is we have a staking vault. You're going to be able to stake for 90 days and earn insane amount of APY. It's insane, especially for 3 months. So if you do have TK on the Bitcoin chain, you're definitely going to want to stake it. I promise you that. Johnny says, whoop, whoop. Chief Axel is here. Shout out to Chief Axel. Hydro Sapien is here. Tim Baker. Let's see. Cash Cat's here with the coffee and the donuts and the dog go to the moon. And Cat, shout out to you, man. Absolutely awesome. Tim Baker's joined the wheel. I got you on the wheel, Tim Bake. Mats, I got you on the wheel, man. Alpha Gamer. I can put you on the wheel. You have a TK in there. I know your Twitter handle, so I'll put Alpha Gamer on here. All right. Choda is here. I got you, Choda. Superfan is here. Shout out to Superfan. Superfan, throw a TK in there, bro. Let's get you on. Let's get you on this list. Stan, I don't have your Twitter handle either. So throw a TK in the Twitter handle if you're still here, Stan. He says, is there a stat sheet of TK's abilities? For example, does he have Magic Paul, Kung Fu, Baby Mama, High School Dropout? Yeah, I haven't really looked into it.
There's definitely a lot of that stuff, but like we'll put it together. I love what you're doing there, Stan. Always an addition to the show for sure.
Stan's the man. Love you, Stan. Pro Crypto is here. He said Wishy. He's awesome. He hit me up. He's like, yo, let me send you some Wishy. He sent me like a couple bucks in Wishy. So appreciate that, man. Nighthawk is here. Shout out to Nighthawk. Mir K is here. Mir K says morning to all. TK Alpha Gamer again. Hold my beer. I'll show you guys a higher chart on the chart. A higher high on the chart. Alpha Gamer, my legend. Johnny Gonzalez says super random question: are Bitcoin and Solana chains mirroring each other's market cap and liquidity? So there is no liquidity yet, on DotSwap, but you can go to Magic Eden and kind of buy it how we normally buy runes. But well, all that is coming. But yeah, so you're going to have liquidity on Solana. You're going to have liquidity on Bitcoin, and you can, if you are on Bitcoin, you can buy on Bitcoin. You're on Solana, you can buy on Solana. If you want to buy on Bitcoin and bridge out because it's cheaper on Bitcoin, you can do that as well. So that is everything you guys need to know. Johnny says for Trench Kitty, 100%. Alpha Gamers here. KDN is here. Got you on there, KDN. DeFi Gardner. Okay, you're shilling something called Purple Bitcoin. No. Johnny Gonzalez is here. Stan says, "Is Purple Bitcoin PS?" Yeah, let's not worry about Purple Bitcoin. Johnny Gonzalez again. Let's see. Alpha Gamers is interesting how Solana Moonshot app is not showing TK in the top trending coins, even though it has moved. That is weird. Can you buy it on Moonshot? You can buy TK on Moonshot.
I'm not sure. But I mean, I think they automatically pick it up, but maybe I don't know. Maybe it takes some time for like verification or something before it gets added to those like big movers.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I Walk Alone is here. Says TK. I Walk Alone. I'll get you in there in a second. Alpha Gamer says it should be ranked number 3 on Moonshot. Yeah, let's get that up, man. Let's get that up. Alpha Gamer says, "Yep, Monero." Go.
I was gonna say too, like once we get to like $500,000 market cap, maybe we can look into some boost as well for Deck Screener. We'll get all that stuff. Join Alpha Gamer. Join the follow the X account, the Trench Kitty X account, and join the X community on there. It's under there. Everybody do that right now. We want to continually grow that, man. You know, the bigger the following, the better the community, the stronger the community.
Yeah, 100%. So 160 followers over here. Get in here too, guys. You know, just half of you guys are not in the community. Get in the community. It's where we can actually share updates and stuff like that. So get in that community as well. Nix is here. Shout out to Nix from Roomine. Absolutely awesome. I think she's the one who did the lookout for. She did the video.
Oh yeah,
so
she did a great job.
Amazing job. Cash Cats is here again. Cash, I see. Okay, cool. You're in there. Tim Baker says we didn't get. Okay, read that already. Johnny Gonzalez put his stuff in there. I got you already, Johnny. Bro to the moon. I'll get you in there in a second. Cash Cats and Johnny Gonzalez. He said, "Do you have a Telegram?" No, we're actually using the X community. X community is actually better than Telegram because it's a one-stop place. We're already on X all day anyway. Telegram's just always hard to kind of, for me anyway, but the community is the place to go. It's very similar to the a Telegram. So, all right, and that is all your comments here. But let's jump into our next segment here. And usually, every week we usually have the great guys from Sats Terminal join us. But today, they are about to go to Hong Kong for that event and stuff like that. But we do have some amazing updates from them. What we got? What we talking about today?
Yeah. So first of all, eventually Trench Kitty will be on Sats Terminal as well, which they provide the most volume of all the exchanges directly on chain with Bitcoin. But they so a couple things. Number one, they have their beta test group that they've started. If you are interested in joining that, and it's for their loan program, right? So the loan program, I'm actually going to share my screen and show you guys what that is. As you guys know, Sats Terminal is actually a DEX aggregator swap. The DEX aggregator swap, and so they aggregate from Magic Eden, from DotSwap, everywhere, right? So they find the cheapest price for your rune swapping and your alkane swapping. Now they have a new product as well that they're rolling in, and it says unlock cash without selling your Bitcoin. So you can borrow against your Bitcoin holdings instantly, no selling, just liquidity on your terms. This is backed by Coinbase and Draper Associates. These guys are doing another raise, dude. Like, people are very, very interested in them, because they come out with products like this. But if you want to join the beta test group, and if you've been looking to try to get networked and find your foot into the door, these opportunities like this you want to take advantage of, you got to reach out to their X account. So their X account is, let me actually find it here.
At Sats Terminal. Okay,
it's at Sats Terminal. That's it. Simple. At Sats Terminal. SATS STERMINAL. So message them and tell them you want to be a part of the beta test group, because they're looking for testers. They want to make sure, you know, they have extensive testing here. This team is top notch. And so that is the update here, is that they're going to be rolling this out, you know, soon, but they want to continue to grow that tester group. Reach out to their X, message them, and yeah. And if you're looking to swap for runes, obviously do it at satsterminal.com, because they're going to find you the cheapest and most liquid tokens. Eventually Trench Kitty will be on there as well. That's pretty much it. They don't have a ton of updates other than, you know, they're going to be releasing this product. That's the next biggest thing for them. And I think it's going to bring a lot of attention, because a lot of Bitcoiners and, you know, the Bitcoin maxis that are like maybe half the new style, half the old style. One thing that for sure is they've always wanted to be able to know how they can make money off of their Bitcoin without selling it. And this is how you do that. Right. So. Oh, you're muted.
Yep, 100%. And they do also have their amazing product, the Sats Terminal. It's satsterminal.com. You guys can come here, get your rewards, right? This is the Amber rewards. This is something you're going to want to get, right? I don't want to stress this out enough. The reason I trade on Sats Terminal as much as I do is mainly because I do like runes, but mainly because I just get these rewards. Like I can go and buy Magic Eden, no problem. I can do this, but going here and using the stacks here will get me as many rewards as possible. Like last year, for instance, when we were trading on Magic Eden, I got a lot of diamonds. Those diamonds ended up being a lot of the Magic Eden token. And I think it's going to be something similar. I don't know, but I think the diamonds, the Amber rewards are going to be very similar to the diamonds. So when you do trade runes, you want to make sure you're doing it on Sats Terminal. When you're buying Kitty, make sure you're doing it on Sats Terminal. I think Sats Terminal is the #1 place, and it's a very smooth experience. It's one of my favorite experiences. You know, a lot of the other stuff doesn't feel like, you know, like Web3, but these guys, they definitely did a great job. I think the UI is amazing and everything. So when you do trade, make sure you guys are trading over here, and then do have a leaderboard. You can kind of see where you're at on the leaderboard, kind of see where you're at, guys. I mean, that's 100%. And you're going to be your time's running out, because just opening a wallet gets you 1,000 Amber points, right? That 1,000 Amber, they're going to cut it down to like 10 in the future. Open a wallet gets you 10 Amber. So that's just letting you guys know, just go open up a wallet today and do a trade. You get another 1,000. And, you know, I think like I got like 10,000. So it's not really that far away from me. You guys can get potentially the same rewards as I get, but they're going to reward early users. And I want our community to be those early users. I want our community to get those rewards. I need you guys to go do a little bit of work, open up a wallet, go to Sats Terminal, sign into the thing there, and then potentially if you want to buy, sell, or do anything with runes, do it on Sats Terminal.
Yep. The Amber the Amber rewards that go to future give back is going to be huge. I think that team, I mean, Coinbase is backing them, right? So
yeah, 100%. And I think that's really it. Then they'll be joining us again next week. And if you are in Hong Kong and you want to reach out to them, again, same thing. Go reach out to their X. I'm sure Stan will love to meet you. So check them all out over there.
Absolutely.
But yeah. You want to do like a runes market cap thing, and I'll go through and make sure I have all the names.
Yeah, let's do it. Let me pull that up real quick.
Unless you want to show something else, up to you. Whatever you want to do in this time.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's good to go over runes, because we haven't really hit the market caps kind of update in a while there. I mean, people are kind of, you know, saying runes has lost a little bit of their, you know, I guess like energy recently, but you have to remember that, like, you know, first of all, there was a lot of hype recently because of the Kraken listings, and I think people were expecting instantaneous like 50x or something, and the market just isn't ready. Like you see it even in the trenches too. You know what I mean? Like, dude, like I've been getting busted up in the trenches big time. Like yesterday, I think I was messing with maybe 5 or 6 plays. Oh, we can do the trenches update instead.
Oh, do the trenches. There you go.
Yeah.
My
So
bad.
this is the news from the trenches. But yeah, so I mean, like all day yesterday I was kind of scanning, and out of, I want to say maybe like 7 or 8 plays, I think the best opportunity was a quick in and out for like a 3x or 4x. And that's because, like, you know, some of these tokens will start at bond at like 1.5 million, and that's just not legitimate. You know, that's gonna go to zero. Like they're starting it unless it's like a pre-sale, or but it's not, because these are the bonding curve ones, right? So yeah, and then yesterday, I think it was yesterday, something really, like, the guy that owns Bags Launchpad, I mean, someone is either giving him horrible advice, or he's continually like thinking that like he's gonna hit it out the park with his platform. So yesterday, there was a token YZY, which I think maybe it was associated lightly with the Yeezy team, Kanye and stuff, but they launched it a long time ago. I want to say like maybe early this year or something, and it went to like 70,000 or something, and it went to 2 million yesterday. And so Finn, which is the founder of Bags Launchpad, by the way, is currently has it's number 2 in market share. I don't know how, because every time something gets launched on there, it goes up and then straight down. Like, I don't get like how they're maintaining this market share. I think Bonk right now, Bonk Fund is they're about to release the new version of their launchpad, and I think maybe that's why. But anyways, so he launches a like fundraising token for the YZY I guess movement with Kanye, and it gets up to like, it got up to $12 million, shot up to $12 million, and it dumped instantly to 4 million. And everybody was calling him a scammer and all that stuff. But he had bought like so much of the supply that like it wouldn't go below 4 million. So I think that was the only thing that he did a little bit smart, because it didn't go to zero. Is that like he had made sure that he had enough supply that they couldn't take it to zero. So he acquired that much off the jump, but it went from 12 to 4, and there's a lot of people that got wrecked in between, right? So we're gonna see what happens, but be careful out there, guys. I mean, right now in the Solana trenches, it is really just dump after dump, scam after scam. It's dirt, it's bloody. Now today's green, so maybe there'll be some legitimate players back in, but I think it's better probably just to wait until like the entire market's green for like a week, and then you'll probably hit some better runners. Oh, muted again.
I'm off today. My bad. But yeah, I was actually seeing. So we have a Telegram group for members that we're just doing some stuff. So if you are a YouTube member and you want to join that, there's a members video. You guys can see how to join that. I was watching in there. You guys, man, it was like ticker, and it was like high risk. And I'm looking at it. Sometimes I'll grab the ticker I'm sitting on a computer. I'll grab it, throw it in, GMGN, and I'll look at it and I'll be like, damn, this has died already. Like,
yeah,
from the time I copied it to the time I pasted it, it was dead. Like, but I mean, that's the trenches for you, right? It's a complete game there. But if you can win, you win a lot. But if you lose,
well, no, I mean, it's kind of like what Murray said about leverage, because I really associate like high risk leverage, like high leverage, with the trenches. But there's ways to be more conservative with leverage, and there's ways to be more conservative with the trenches. And I think like with the trenches, it's just like leverage too, except for the only difference is that obviously it's different dynamics. With the trenches, like whenever like Bitcoin and Ethereum start to bleed pretty hard, you're in this mindset of whenever they were running that you hit like a 10x, a 20x, a 50x, and that goes away like tremendously, like very like dramatically, I should say. Once Bitcoin and Ethereum start to bleed, and it's been confirmed, okay, this was a short-term bleed out or whatever. Now it turns into they get that initial part going to suck in as many people as possible, only to dump it every single time. And the narratives that once were going to 1 to 3 to 5 million are now getting stuck right at 1 million. They can't get past 1 million, and they bounce back to 500K and go in between. That's just an example. So I think the biggest piece of I don't want to say advice, but like biggest thing that I've realized is like, if you just pay attention and you're absorbing information, then the opportunity will come to you. But if you're paying attention and you're absorbing the information, but you're trying to make it happen when it's not there, you're going to lose. You're going to lose many times. So you got to know when it's time to pump the brakes and say, all right. And that was yesterday. Yesterday was a big sign for that. But then today it bounces back in terms of ETH and Bitcoin. But still, you need that confirmation, in my opinion. Ethereum closes a daily candle over 4,400. That to me is a confirmation.
Yep. All right, I got all your handles, guys. I made sure of it. So let's spin this wheel. So here we go. Let's spin it. All right, the first winner. I should change that middle now. I think about it. But the first winner is Peter G. Congratulations, man. Let me actually grab this. I'll put this in the private chat so we can make sure I'm gonna reach out to you, and you will, and then I'll send you 100,000 Trench Kitty tokens. We're gonna pick 2 more winners, guys. 2 more winners. So that's the first one. But yeah, and if I don't reach out to you, you can reach out to me as well, and that way we can kind of get that going. I can send you your Trench Kitty, but the same one. Let's go again.
Good luck. Brought to you by Tokyo Wallet. I'm just kidding.
Nighthawk.
Oh my God, he did it. He did it again.
No, his dad. Congratulations. Dude, I thought it was going to stop. But shout out to Noah's dad. 100%. I'm going to reach out to you. I'll get your Bitcoin runes address. These are runes, guys. And then final one. All right.
Good luck.
The last one. I'm not doing it this time. I'm
rooting for him on this one, though. Mr. Hanky. Congrats, guys. Congrats.
Like I said, I'm gonna reach out to each of you guys individually today. I'm gonna send you over 100,000 kitty tokens and more chances to win tomorrow, guys. If you haven't won, let's see the comments here. Oh man, thank you. Yeah, shout out to Johnny, man. Johnny Gonzalez won 100%. Glass Hopper 100%, man. Appreciate all you guys, bro. But yeah, that's our show, guys. We have 562 people, 290 on OnChain Rev Twitter, 75 on Trench Kitty Twitter, 109 on YouTube, Twitch. We have 83, but appreciate every single one of you guys, man. Every single day, phenomenal. Remember, we're live, guys, every day. So we'll talk about that later.
Absolutely. Appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. Without you guys, we couldn't do this. We want to emphasize how thankful we are. We appreciate. I was laughing at Alpha Gamer's comment down there. Dude, why you make me laugh? I'm trying to do the outro here. But yeah, we appreciate each and every one of you guys. Without y'all, we could not do this. But also without our partners, we wouldn't be able to do it as well. This is full time for us, guys. We gave up our salary jobs 2 years ago, and I wouldn't change it for the world. And definitely love it. But our partners allow us to do this. They definitely support us as well as you guys do. So if you could check them out, we greatly appreciate it. Sats Terminal is the DEX aggregator swap for the entire Bitcoin ecosystem. If you're looking to swap for runes or alkanes, you got to do it at satsterminal.com. Why? Because you will earn Amber points. Amber points are similar to something like Magic Eden Diamonds, right? So you earn those points up, and eventually there will be a give back to the early adopters and supporters of the platform. How can you earn them? By just swapping, by doing functions on their platform. But you get a bonus for the first wallet connect. You get 1,000 Amber points. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. Also, if you want to join their beta testing group, go to their Twitter, message them, let them know that you want to join, and be ready for their lending product to roll out here probably in the next 2 months. So super excited about this team and the future. Head over to satsterminal.com. And then Emblem Vault is the interoperability layer for the entire Bitcoin ecosystem. If you're looking to jump your ordinals from Bitcoin to Ethereum, you got to use Emblem Vault. You can do it with your Taproot Wizards and take a loan out against your wizard on the Gandhi application. Also, they're going to open up to different chains as well. Abstract, Base, possibly Merlin, maybe Solana as well. But speaking of Solana, you can use their AI tool, which is the best AI product, in my opinion, in the Solana ecosystem and a top product in the entire crypto ecosystem. So if you head over to agenthustle.ai, you can use their AI tool to help guide you through the trenches of Solana, which we all know. Lord knows we all need help in that place. But he can, if you ask him, hey, find me a 2x, 5x safe play, he will come back and give you information on what he thinks could be a safe 2 to 5x. And, he'll give you reasons why he thinks that. Also, you can do conditional trading with Agent Hustle. You can just say, hey, buy some Trench Kitty once it drops 20%. And I keep saying this, but sell it never. But no, but if you're going to use them for a conditional trade, you can say sell it once I'm up 100%. You can go to the gym. You can go to do your groceries. All you need to do, Hustle's going to be helping you. And just remember, if you're using Hustle, you're using them in the early stages. Like AIs only get better over time, right? So make sure you're taking advantage of that. Also, if you launch the token on Pump Fund and you want to migrate it because you're having issues with being able to manage the LP or anything like that, you just want to kind of, get your community going again, you can use migrate.fund, which is a tool in the Hustle ecosystem. It's really simple. You can have their team at Emblem reach out to them. They'll walk you through it, and they will migrate over. They actually did it with their token. It used to be Tensor, and they migrated away from Pump Fund into the Hustle token. Oh my gosh, it's like night and day. So you too can kind of reinvigorate your community by doing a migration. And lastly, they have a parent company, which is Emblem Vault, and they have a parent token, which is a Bitcoin Rune. This is why we love to work with these partners, man. They're like in Solana, they're in Bitcoin, just like how we are with Trench Kitty as well. But you can go to OpenSea, search Founder Vaults, and this NFT will come up. If you purchase this, right now it's like a pre-sale environment. On block 915,000 on Bitcoin, these vaults will open up. You will get a Bitcoin wallet, and I think it's a healthy supply of the token. So it is a pre-sale style. But in my opinion, I think it's dumb not to do this. Hustle, in my opinion, is going to be a $100 million market cap, not financial advice. Just I know they're growing fast. And then the parent company it's like the parent corporation that's over everything is going to be this one. This is a Bitcoin Rune. So if you have any questions, head over to emblem.vision and you can ask the team through their Discord or just through their X account there. And then Artura.finance is the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. If you're looking to swap for Bitcoin fungible tokens, you're going to be able to do so at Artura.finance. They are live right now on Botanics, which is the Spider Chain Bitcoin Layer 2. You can trade for Bitcoin or Ethereum right now, but they will be adding those Bitcoin fungibles like Dog Go to the Moon, Billion Dollar Cat, TK, baby. Maybe, who knows? That's why I love that we have all these partners. But you can also earn by creating liquidity for the platform by adding it to their staking vaults. And by the way, that's the way that you can earn the most points, because they're doing kickback XP points as well for a future giveaway. Also, you will earn double dip by earning points for the Botanics chain as well. So head over to Artura.finance today. And then every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, we have a new show that is ran by Artura. We just co-host it, and it's been really fun. All about trading, all about charting, all about sticky situations with leverage and all that stuff. So it's really been fun. We had our first episode last week. And then Tokyo Wallet is the multi-chain smart wallet for Bitcoin, Cardano, and Sui now. You can trade for runes on the Bitcoin side, Dog to the Moon, Billion Dollar Cat. They partnered with Sats Terminal to make that possible. On the Cardano side, you can trade for SNEC or FLDT or their token called Toke, as they partnered with Dex Hunter to make that possible. You can also swap for Sui type tokens. They have an aggregator over there. So their whole idea is to make the most user-friendly mobile wallet, and they're going to have PC soon as well.
I think Yagobi froze up on us.
I'm here.
You good? Maybe it was me. All right, keep going.
Yeah. If you have an Android, head over to the Google Play Store. You can download the apps there. You can try them out and let us know your feedback. We'll pass it over to the team. And then there's also this alpha section on their application too, where you'll find our channel and other YouTubers as well. Head over to Tokyo.io to learn more today. And then Merlin Chain is uniting Bitcoin strength through the power of AI. They have an amazing AI tool product there as well called the Wizard 0.3 version that will guide you through Merlin Chain's ecosystem. You can do DeFi functionalities with it through Merlin Chain, and right around the corner, I think next week possibly, the version 0.4 is going to come out, and you can actually do cross-chain swapping. If you have Bitcoin in your Merlin Chain wallet, you can swap for tokens on Solana, for tokens on BNB. It's going to be a place where you can do everything from. So that's really amazing that they have that. And then also you can do data. You can grab data from the Wizard. Really good data across all the chains as well. But they also have a proof of stake type system on Merlin Chain. So there's 3 options. You can stake Bitcoin to earn more Bitcoin, which is amazing because everybody wants to do that. You can earn 16% APR, and then that's locked up till September 30th. So just know that. And then 2 options for the Merlin Chain token. The first one is the flexible day-to-day. You can claim your rewards every single day and compound interest that. And then there's a 7-day cool-out period if you try to withdraw. Just know that. And then there's the last option there that is the it's 15% APR for the day-to-day. And then the last option is the 6-month lockup called the bonded, 45% APR. Same thing though, you can claim the tokens every day and roll it into a compound interest there. Really awesome stuff. This team's going to be in Hong Kong as well. So if you want to connect, make sure you connect through their X account and message them if you want to connect in Hong Kong as well. They're doing huge things, got listed on Kraken not long ago, and are really focused on growing their brand. Head over to merlinchain.io. And lastly is our partners from Ordinal Hive. Fonzie, and OG in the Ordinal ecosystem, came out of the Bitcoin Startup Lab and has built OrdinalHive.io, where they have spaces every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Alpha Gamers always in there. We always have great macro talk, great talk about the entire crypto space. It gets kind of crazy, the topics though, but it's really fun. But their platform is the fastest ordinal marketplace. If you sell an ordinal there, you don't have to wait 10 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour for a block. They give you the liquidity right away. Also amazing trader tools to make you a lightning fast trader and an amazing dashboard. And they have XP right now. So you want to earn as much XP as possible before they have their TGE. But we thank you guys so much for checking out our partners. Almost 600 people in here, and we are extremely grateful for each and every one of you.
100%, man. If you guys have a few more minutes and wouldn't mind checking out onchainrevolution.io, we have some of the best articles dating all the way back to 2023. Brand new article, Trench Kitty. I know, guys, we're kind of pushing this down your throat. We don't mean to. It's just, it's just the theme of the week, right? So definitely check out this new Trench Kitty article here. It actually, break down exactly what is going on there. So definitely check out the Trench Kitty. If you guys need a VPN, highly recommend Nord. It's my favorite VPN. You guys can get it for $3 a month. Highly recommend everyone have a VPN, guys. Do not just be going to these websites without a VPN on. It's stupid. Get a Nord VPN. It's $3 a month. Lock it in for 2 years. Set it, forget it, done with it. There is free ones out there you guys can get, but I highly recommend getting yourself a Nord VPN. And on top of that, we have a merch store. I just added yesterday. I just added some merch. So you got to go over here. You can go to the search thing. You can type in Trench and he should come up. There he is. The new Trench Kitty shirt has arrived, guys, with the OnChain Revolution logo as well. Check everything out here at onchainrevolution.io. And remember, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. Until tomorrow.
Peace.
OnChain Revolution roll call. Market recap. You not bullish enough. No. You're not bullish enough. No. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed, gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction.